This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Welcome to TPC Sawgrass, known for one of the most terrifying holes in all of golf, the 17th Island Green. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, and we'll be calling all the action for today's event. Frank, the golfers look ready to go, and if you win here, simply put, Frank, you've won one of the most meaningful championships in the whole sport.
This is the deepest field in professional golf. That's why it's the Players' Championship.
Gentle opening hole, but still not a gimme three.
No, it isn't, because it's going to test that second shot. A good drive here, you really should be looking at making three. But a poor second shot, especially if you miss the screen on the left, then it's a very tough up and down.
Excellent opening tee shot. That ball's right in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is classy.
Yeah, chance of going in.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. Second hole, it's a par 5.
You'd think birdie or eagle off this tee, and we've seen a lot during the Players' Championship. Be careful of those pines.
Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. That one is in the bunker. This is the 4th shot now, coming out of the bunker. Played that one on the commercial side, as they say in the professional game, inside 30 feet.
Yeah, 27 feet to be precise, but to make it from there, that's asking for a bit.
Very well done, almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Almost. Wow. So they'll tap in to 1 over par early on in this round. Now the par 3 third.
Not overly long, but 2 is a rarity here. Difficult green, and you don't see a lot of tee shots actually finish close here for some unknown reason.
Frank, where's this one headed?
Well, might just catch the left side of the green. On the dance floor, but it's going to be a long way away.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
This would give him the par. Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. Frank, how important is positioning off the tee here?
Well, we saw a positional tee shot at 1 and 2. This is another one here at 4.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot. Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
He'll take par and move on. Now to the fifth. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, if you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards. And this one just seems to be moving a little left in the air.
Not too bad. Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Good work there. Now to even par. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brittle out there.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
One more turn of the golf ball.
Hubert Green once said 99% of putts that come up short don't go in.
Did the job right there. Seventh hole here at TPC Sawgrass, generally placed into the wind, one of the stadium course's most difficult greens to hit, Frank.
It's a really weird tee shot here. You have those three little pot bunkers down the right, and then that bunker that meanders once again all the way down the left side. The bunker that's just slow.
Might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop, this now the third shot. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Frank, that's just a really good putt right there.
Yeah, that's why you call lag putting. You get outside a certain distance, and really your mind has to be about two putting and not trying to be a hero.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. So, 2 over par for the round. Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface. This one's going left, Rich.
They're not knocking down the flagstick here, but looks as though it will find the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. Frank, now at the ninth, this really is one of my favorite par fives in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
Got 5 minutes to find it.
He'll need to be strong with this. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now on to one of the most exciting back nines in golf here at the TPC Sawgrass and the Stadium course. Let's begin at number 10. Frank, and what do you make of this hole?
It's another one where you're just trying to fit the tee shot in the fairway there. It's not a driver, just something that stays right. And, of course, we've seen a lot of people stray here down the left side. Who can forget Mickelson when he won his Players' Championship, hitting that phenomenal 7-iron out of the fairway bunker, through the trees, and still finding the putting surface. But speaking of the putting surface, this green has more undulations than just about any green on the golf course. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. 2 over for the day. Hole number 11, 558 yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here?
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity. Oh, I like that.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
And it is not looking like a good lie. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. This one measures out to 15 feet. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Here now, the 12th hole at the TPC Sawgrass. It's a 358-yard par 4, so short on the card, Frank, but obviously a challenge. What's the key here?
Once again, trying to find that right position on the fairway, and that's down the right side. Anything down the left, that mound is going to block your view.
Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. She'd rather be in the rough.
Birdie try up next. And getting ready for the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. And that looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
That one hurts. That's another bogey. Have to try to right the ship now, 3 over par. One of the great things about this golf course, Frank, a variety of par 3s, different yardages. Here at the 13th, 181-yard par 3.
Yeah, this is where you have to be careful on the tee there. Anything left.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Solid play, heart of the green. Just a little tap in here. That is a double bogey. And through the years, Frank, it has gotten the best of the best, hasn't it?
We've seen Tiger Woods hit it left. We've seen Vijay Singh hit it left. We've seen so many players in the water down the left. Conversely, many a championship's been lost by hitting the ball up in the mounds on the right.
You take 4 here and run to 15?
I would sprint. Rich, I don't think any player at the top of the game, when they play TPC Sawgrass, they ever feel in control of their game. It's one golf course, and you'll see it too when you play on EA Sports, that each hole just sort of almost puts you deliberately off balance, and you can never feel like you're on top of your game. That, in a weird way, is the brilliance of TPC Sawgrass.
Well, that's what Pete Dye always set out to do. It wasn't so much what he built, but how he made you think about the round you were playing. He wanted to get inside your head. He wanted to play games with you. He wanted you thinking about that shot at 17, maybe while you were on the 11th hole, so that you were thrown off while you were playing 11 because maybe you heard a roar at 17, or maybe the wind was gusting in a certain way that just it threw a thought in your mind that, oh my goodness, when we get to 17, I might be in a little trouble. All about the games he played mentally with the best in the world.
Tom Weisskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Frank challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Yeah, that was a little over-ambitious.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Pretty good shot right there. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really two good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
He's putting for bogey now. It has been frustrating. 6 over par already. Frank, fans watching, they love excitement in the game. 16's an exciting hole, isn't it?
Well, that's where you get it, because you hear the roars. You start to see the big crowds that go all the way around 16, 17, and 18T. You feel where you are in the tournament, too. A movement that starts at 16 can be carried all the way to the clubhouse.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Third shot now from the bunker. Bit surprising, misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Oftentimes in golf, we'll say it's man against man, man against nature. Now here's a good example. 1998 at the Players at the TPC Sawgrass, Steve Lowry was playing the 17th hole, the famous Island Green. Hit his tee shot right on the putting surface. And guess what happens? Here comes a seagull, swoops down, snatches up Lowry's ball, flies away, and drops it in the water. Too bad, Steve. Actually, he got to replace his ball on the green. Moves to 5 over. Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. 462-yard par 4. Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the TPC Sawgrass and EA Sports. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you've played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner, and beside me is my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're in the state of California, set to kick off the round here at the challenging PGA West course. Par 72 setting up as a demanding challenge to any golfer stepping on this course, especially, Frank, when it comes down to the 17th hole. They call it Alcatraz.
Well, as we know, hardly anybody gets out of Alcatraz. You want to throw a little nugget in? In 2000, Joe Daly looked like he was going to get his tour card, hit a putt from 3 foot, it hit the liner, bounce back out. A lot of things can happen on 17.
Second shot from 120. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
So third shot now for Rory McIlroy. That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Even par early on. To the second hole now, par 4, only 371 yards. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
It's really a layup hole here. No need to hit driver down there. The biggest bunker in the distance there is about 300 yards. You have to avoid that. Nothing wrong with hitting an iron or even a hybrid off this.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Shouldn't be a problem here. So in the red figures at 1 under. Now to the third hole, a par 4, 471 yards. Frank, break this hole down for us.
All the trouble appears down that left side with the series of bunkers, but you've got to take into account the trees that are well positioned down the right side. Plus, as you can see, this fairway is not exactly flat. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
And he's made the green. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, this is our first par 3 of the day. The fourth, about 192 yards.
And it's called sandpit. So if you're not on the green, chances are you're getting that lob wedge or sand wedge out. Green is 36 yards deep. Got a nice little sort of hump and hollow roll to it. Mini roller coaster. This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. Oh, you can see the frustration almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the fourth. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Yeah, Rory's like a car that just has an extra gear. You know, if you've got five-speed gearbox, Rory's got 6. If you've got a 6-speed gearbox, he's got 7.
He's the souped-up Ferrari or Lamborghini. He can go. He's Formula One. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
All right, Frank, just on the fringe. You might be thinking about making this.
Yeah, he's a better chipper than you, Rich.
Birdie try up next.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank, a long par 3 here at the 6th, 255 yards. Club selection obviously is crucial.
Yeah, and length is very important here. Something that can fly high and land soft is obviously going to make that green play a little bit bigger. If you get a breeze off the right or left to right into, this hole becomes very challenging.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green, so it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance? That really is the stop sign. So,
Frank, you've just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Pretty good shot right there.
Even par, currently.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Just a couple of feet. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a 3-shotter like it is for everybody else.
Tug that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Saves par, stays at 3 over. Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 9th, 452 yards, I hear players like you often say, I'm going to take it on. What do you mean by that, and how does it apply to this particular tee shot?
Well, you have options, obviously. One up down the left side, but then you're almost giving into the hole, like you're accepting you're going to make bogey if you're lucky. So in the end, you're forced to go back to option A, which is actually to challenge the best shot you have, which is down the right side.
Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. NASA, we have a splashdown. After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Man,
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh, don't leave it short. Wow. Just a little tap in here. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. He struggled on the front, but a chance to regroup here on the inward half, Frank.
Well, if you look at a round of golf and you made a couple of double bogeys on the first or you made a couple of double bogeys on the end, it would still add up. Now, let's hope that the back nine is all gravy. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the hole location from here. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just 5 feet left. All right, going in the right direction at 5 over. Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11th at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. You can hit it far enough down there, you can get close to this green. But if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long.
Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? You hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
You know, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. And a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. Right now, another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. And you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. That was a little over-ambitious.
Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one, no easier than the one he's just hit.
And setting up here in the rough. Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. And now we're at the par 3, 13th hole, 214 yards. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalised a stroke for hitting it out of bounds, and I'm hitting my third shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Then a rocky round. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really: poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Solid play, heart of the green. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 13th hole seems to have knocked him off his game. He is not playing well. Frank, you know this game can just take the wind out of your sails. Tough sport.
Everybody would love to drive it down the middle of the fairway, knock it to 10 feet and make the putt. We know it's not always going to happen, but play to your strengths. You might be chipping well. You might knock the odd 30-footer in. You don't have to play perfectly to make a good score.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is how it's done, right there. What an approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Par 5 16th is a slight dog-leg left at 600 yards.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. And getting ready for the putt. And at last, he has made a birdie.
And what can he do from here, though? Is that the start of something? It looks like it is.
Well, we've arrived at Alcatraz, the signature hole here at PGA West. That looked like a miss hit, Frank. That one is gone. OB. This will be the third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank, we hear the sports psychologists so often say, put the mistake behind you, live in the moment. Easier said than done.
It is, male, female. It doesn't. It certainly affects everybody that plays this game, and somehow you've got to play. You've heard the old cliche, one shot at a time, but this is why it's so important, because if anything from the past creeps in, it really does affect on what you do after that. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nose down.
Can't even see it from here.
Hazard?
Maybe wet. Extra stroke added after going into the water. This now the fourth shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green. Should be safely on deck.
Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. That had to really hurt Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. So as we finish up here today, Frank, he has not had the best round, but I suppose that's golf, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. This golf course can drive many a man crazy. But the beauty of this game, you get up, dust yourself off, do it again.
And there'll be a next time for us as well, partner. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo saying goodbye for now. Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We are in the great state of North Carolina, set to kick off the round here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one of the most well-respected courses on tour.
And for good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And he's made it onto the green now. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
It's a cruel game.
Clean this up with a tap. +1 in the early going. Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Safely aboard. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Could use this one. This is for par. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. Two, that the fairway starts to run out. And three, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here.
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up, so this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. Now to the fourth hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left. Second shot.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
These putts keep the round together. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Rough day so far, 4 over par on the round. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. You're sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
For par. That is a solid par putt. Frank, this is where you know that players like Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy are playing a different game than guys like me. They step up to this 250-yard par 3 and they might hit a 5-iron. It is a little downhill, but they might be with a middle iron where a lot of us would be with a driver.
Well, you see the advantage of that power on this very hole, not just because of the length they got to hit it, but the green they're heading into. This green slopes off in both directions, right and left, so you have to land that ball in the middle of the green. So, yeah, it's a big advantage if you can go at this hole with like a 5-iron. Really. This is an awkward length.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past and miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that positive attitude.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that. Whoops, Rich, this is way offline.
Oh, yeah. Get down. Frank, this is always such a difficult spot for a golfer. You just hit one out of bounds, you're trying to regroup.
He's going to need to more than regroup now.
Getting set now for his fourth shot. Took the penalty after hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, this can get away from him here.
McIlroy now, fifth shot. Settles in over the putt. How does that not go in? Wow, I thought he made that. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling him right now.
Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. Well, we've seen this before today. In the bunker. Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. And it makes the green in regulation. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
So a tester from 4 feet. Par for McIlroy. But you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Well, Frank, what do you think of the ninth hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. Hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for a big tee shot here.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
Yeah, this could pound very, very quickly. So now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Frank, the nice thing about golf is that if you struggle on that front side, you can take a breath and you can regroup and you can get something going on the back nine.
During a round of golf, there's so many little things you can do, especially when you're a little awry. Check the ball position. Maybe you're starting to focus too much on swing rather than actually the shots in hand. Rich, there's nothing worse than this. This might look all right, but in the mulch, this is a disastrous situation.
So this is not mulch ado about nothing?
Ah, I get it.
And it is not looking like a good lie.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Oh, dude, that in the hole. Tremendous shot. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two, really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Always tough to get a decent flight out of the rough. And you could see that ball was never soaring out of that lie. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus its yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Second shot from 160. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Pretty far from the hole, but still on the green, and that's never too bad. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong three-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but
unfortunately, that ball is wet. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron. He shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Safely aboard. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
Solid play, heart of the green. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has is it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. That is a solid par putt. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I have got no idea how big it would be.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, you don't get it every day. The game is just too hard.
No, you've got to play with it though. The swings, the turns, you're on a roundabout, and every now and again, things just come out your way.